Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
How good is that? Breaking up can be one of the hardest things to do.
What a song.
I have cried in the car to this one.
I'm still crying. Crying now.
I remember I was 14 years of age and I was going out with a girl called Natalie who I met at the bus stop, Kate. So she went to a different school. We would meet at the bus stop every day.
Oh, you must have looked forward to that bus stop.
You would have done your hair in the morning and...
Well, we were holding hands at the bus stop, and then she wanted to kiss me, and I just felt weird. It didn't feel right, and I didn't know how to say to her, "I just can't do this anymore." So I never went back to that bus stop again.
Didn't you?
Ghosted.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Yep.
Did you call her or let her know? You just stopped coming?
No, and I felt really, really bad. I just couldn't do it.
Because you had a cold sore?
Yeah, that was another thing as well.
No, but you didn't feel... This is the thing, Fitzy. You say you felt really, really bad, but this is what people say, but you didn't feel bad enough to handle it appropriately.
He's 12.
Oh, I felt so bad about it. Well, why? This could all be over with one simple conversation.
Well, the shoe on the other foot, it's happened to me before, because the first time I tried to court a young Belinda Irons, who is now my wife, she didn't want anything to do with me, Kate.
She had a boyfriend.
And I was so upset that I ended up hooking up with somebody else. And I started seeing that person.
Yeah.
And then she ghosted me, Kate. Would not pick up her phone.
Who, Belinda?
No, this other girl that I was seeing at the time. And then I had to go through her friends. And this was about 3 or 4 months later. Would not get back to me. And I thought, I just need an answer here. All I want is an answer. If you, and I had a pretty good idea it was over because she just
the signs were there.
Do you know what?
But just tell me.
I remember calling this girl I really like, Penny. And this is when she didn't have a mobile phone before mobile phones. And you would ring the home phone. It was a very nerve-wracking time, and the dad answered. And he went, "Who's there?" And I said, "Oh, my name's Michael." And he yelled out to her, "Hey, Penny, Michael's on the phone." And I just heard her in the background go, Tell him I'm not here." I'm sorry, Michael, Penny's not here. Oh,
wise move. Penny wise.
Yeah. She dodged a bullet, didn't she?
Did she really?
She did. How did you find out it was over, Em?
So many, many years ago, I'm happily married now, but many years ago, my ex and I were separated, living separately. So it wasn't a complete surprise, eventually. But one day I got a random text message that said, "What's your address?" And I said, "What do you need it for?" And the reply I got was, "Divorce papers, full stop. Need them, full stop." And that was it.
Oh, wow.
How cold is that?
It was a bit of a crack.
Oh, Em, I'm sorry you had to go through that. Are you happy at the moment? Have you got someone special in your life now?
So incredibly happy with my husband, and I've got a beautiful son. So it was all for the best in the end.
Great news. Well done.
That's how a majority of men deal with their emotions, isn't it?
What, through the lawyer with papers?
Let's just make about basic. Yet if less is more, just right.
Well,
I need your address.
Sometimes I think that does work, though, because I think at the end of a relationship, it can all get a bit fiery
so
and
just knock it on the head.
So, emotionally charged. Sometimes take all that stuff out of it.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Did you ever get a job and you had absolutely no idea what you were doing?
Radio?
13, 24, 10.
It started about 12 months ago.
When are we going to work out what we're meant to be doing? I'm still trying to put the pieces together.
I do love the panic of, oh my gosh, what am I... First day on the job, you rock up and you're like, oh my, what am I doing here?
I know, I'm in over my head.
This one's a bit extreme though, because Nathan Chambers has decided to represent his fiancée, Dorothy Pearce, in an upcoming court case. Thing is though, he doesn't have his licence. He's never done it before. And he's been charged because they found out, the judge that was doing the case has found out, he's going, oh, the wording on this is a bit weird. They found out that he's been going through the whole case. This was about halfway through before he got busted. He's been using ChatGPT for his filings the whole time.
Wow. Just getting the computer to make it up.
He was doing all right for a while
Well,
there.
and isn't that the scary thing, that you can get halfway through a criminal case and still be managing
Yep.
with ChatGPT?
It's phenomenal, isn't it? Like,
Well,
you could
this is
actually
it.
just bring your computer to work.
In his filings, there was some big words in there by Nathan, but when the judge quizzed him on a couple of things, the bloke was in court a little bit confused about where the questioning was going.
It's annoying when you have to write the question into the computer.
Yeah.
Can I have a
Hang on a second.
Can I have a moment? Tut, 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 tut,
But
tut.
imagine the fear and the blood running from your body where you think you're doing okay and then they just start asking you questions live.
Yeah,
So-
and you're cooked on the spot.
Do you know the worst thing about it? He charged his fiancée $14,000 for his work. So now
Charged his fiancée.
Charged his fiancée.
Why is he doing it in the first place? Is she unwell or something? I mean, we're not getting all the details here. Was he
It's a
desperate?
contempt here. Oh, no, that's him. He's obviously been done for contempt. What am I talking
And
about?
who's representing him?
It's a probate case. This is the thing. But then the judge has done some investigating, found out he doesn't have his licence. Then he's got drug charges. They're actually looking for him. So he's in a fair bit of trouble now. He'll probably end up in jail.
You know, I had a job as a project manager, and I got it through a mate's dad. And literally, I would sit in these meetings, and I had to take the minutes, and I had no idea what I was talking about.
What kind of projects were you
They were
managing?
like big projects,
But
like
what kind of
$200 million commercial high-rise buildings.
Oh, building.
Yeah,
But
and I
I
would.
thought you meant like, I don't know,
No.
a party.
Did you even know the formalities of a meeting? Like,
No.
did you not? No, you didn't. You didn't know what
Didn't
to
know
write down.
anything, and I would just fall asleep in the meeting. So to keep myself awake, I'd drink water and eat all the cookies. So I just looked like the fat guy who'd make his way through the cookies the entire time.
You looked like that guy, did you?
I
Or you
looked
were
like
that
him. I
guy?
wasn't him. I certainly didn't. I certainly wasn't him, guys. I just looked.
I vaguely represented a fat guy eating the cookies.
vaguely
No,
did.
you were with.
What are you talking
I
about?
don't think everyone else in the room is going, do you know what that guy looks like?
The Cookie Monster.
The Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
David Williams, the special star guest,
Oh my
is here.
gosh! Co-hosting, taking over the show, David Williams.
We're going
I
to
think
milk
just
this for all it's
hosting.
worth.
Let's not just say co-hosting.
Sorry.
Hosting.
What have you hosted in the past? What have your highlights been?
Nothing successfully. I'm more of a funny guest than a host. I'd
Right,
say.
Okay. Have you performed at the Royal
Albert Hall.
Yeah, no,
I've
not at the
hosted-
Albert Hall, at the Queen's thing. At the
Yes. If you please, Kate, just let me finish. I was at the Royal Albert Hall. The Royal Albert Hall hosting the Royal Variety performance
Yes.
in front of Her Majesty the Queen
gosh.
and the Duke of Edinburgh.
Any feedback from the Queen?
Well, you're not allowed to ask her a question, you see. So,
Aren't you?
so afterwards, she comes around and speaks to everyone. And she said, I think she said to One Direction, do you all always work together? Yeah, they're One Direction. Then I came down on a wire at the start of the show. And then she said to Robbie Williams, were you the man on the wire? No.
Awesome.
No.
So you're
So
told.
pop culture is big.
Are you told in that instance on that night, or is that a known thing that you don't
It's
ask
the same with
question?
Kate. You can't ask questions and you can't make eye contact. But the Duke of Edinburgh, have you ever heard of a group called Diversity? They're a group. Okay, it's about 20 of them, and they are a dance group that did very well on Britain's Got Talent. And there's like, they're black, they're white, there's like different ages and everything. The Duke of Edinburgh met them and went, "Are you all one family?"
Isn't that amazing?
Well, there's only 20 of us.
I love those moments. We had a
Yeah.
band called Shepherdin a while ago, and I didn't know too much about them, and I asked if anybody was getting it on within the band, then found out they were all brother and sister.
Well, they're Australian. I mean, it wouldn't make any difference, would it?
You've got to do your research.
My goodness.
Got to do your research.
Actually, I wanted to ask you, David, with the people that you have met, and you being in Australia is just as big news as the Oasis reunion. But have you met the Gallagher brothers at all, Liam or Noel?
Yeah,
have
I've
you met them him before?
I've met them both. Noel, I know quite well.
Right.
And he's quite funny. And I texted him after the Oasis reunion and said, oh, bollocks to this. What we really wanted was a BDI reunion. And BDI was Liam Gallagher's not very long-standing sort of solo band.
What did he say?
He thought that was funny.
Will you get freebies to that, or have you
Yeah,
bought your
I
tickets?
imagine so.
There was a chat yesterday around the fact that people are paying $12,000 or something for a ticket to see Oasis, but I'm guessing that wouldn't be
if
you.
you're Kate, what happens if you're famous and rich and very successful is that luckily you don't have to pay for anything.
Life's a breeze.
Everything's for free. Can I just say, I'm not here to promote Oasis, right? I mean, good for them. You know, I mean, great.
But I've got a
great.
book.
They were great about 20 years ago. Okay.
What's your favourite song, Dave?
I do actually. I did go and see them live when I was. I was going to say a child, but I wasn't a child. I was whatever in my 20s. So yeah, they were a great band. I mean, I only really liked the first two albums, to be honest with you. But anyway, back to me.
Back to me.
Back
to
to
you.
me.
And we need to talk about Taylor Swift quickly. Did you go and see Taylor
No, I
at
didn't
Wembley?
go and see Taylor
Don't yell at
Swift.
me.
I'm
Why
not
not?
going to pretend to be a Swiftie. I'm not.
Would you not be interested in
Because
actually
I
seeing
don't
the
know.
show as a whole?
I just couldn't care less.
Oh.
It's not my thing. I like the Pet Shop Boys.
Of course.
Of course you do. You scream Pet Shop Boys.
Don't you? When you were dancing on the back
Here we
of the
go.
yacht.
Here we go. She started.
Okay.
Here we go.
You can finish it if you
Have
want.
a good laugh. Have a good laugh.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, about you tell us something about you then.
No, why don't you tell us something
Oh,
more
tell
about
us something
Kate?
about you then.
Can I ask a question for the two of you?
Yeah.
Has there been any further conversation around the return of AGT?
No, she killed it off. Stone dead.
You're the reason it didn't come back.
That's what they said. No, they. Did you not hear about the audience research?
What did they say?
Kate Ritchie. Bum-bum.
Apparently I was very popular.
Really?
No,
Yes.
I would love to do that show again. But the other thing is, and I don't know if I'm allowed to ask you about this, you did the one in the UK as well, and then
for
something
10 years.
And then something happened, and you're not there anymore.
And now I'm having to tour Australia. It's come to this. It's come to this. I mean, you know, obviously I won't be going to Adelaide, but everywhere else.
Thanks, David. Good
The
to see you,
flowers
David.
have died, much like my career. Thank you for having me, guys.
See you, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Fits in Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.